Zombies.
And we're both
Okay.
streaming. Okay. I click
Make
that.
sure I'm doing this right here.
I'm just gonna add you the manual way, and people are just gonna have to deal with the Twitch logo stuff. Invite to game. There you
Make sure I got the right gum set up here so we don't. Okay, we should be good.
go. I mean, I'm back to the
Come back,
basic.
I think my phone just exploded.
I'm also back to the basic stats and all that. So, open up a private match. Okay, so this is going to be the chaos story. Let me quickly create my guy since this is gonna. So this is single player. Ooh, I definitely want that one. Definitely want that one. I guess that
I'm
would
good to
do
go.
there. Out of these, the best one to start off with. I also haven't figured out which one I'm gonna perma keep yet. What
Oh,
level up
gotcha.
I've thought of perma keeping yet. So I guess for the beginning that one's good.
Oh, nice sticker. Let's go sticker. Totally a summer type one right there.
Oh yeah. The like little cover
Cool.
thing is a whenever you get your first prestige.
Yeah. Nice.
I think we're gonna definitely go. Actually, it's so hard.
Oh.
Slow. Let's go with that one. That sounds like a good mix. I'm also changing up my special weapons. Good there. And I think all my guns are. Yeah, I can't change any of them. So I'm ready when you are. This is gonna be such an
Already
interesting
ready up.
thing.
I'm ready to roll.
This is gonna be such an interesting and strange thing.
Oh no, that means you have to start with the 4 basic gums or
Yep.
the elixirs. I mean, that's gonna be nasty.
Oh yeah. But eventually I'll decide which which set I'm gonna want to keep. Most likely if I ever get to 4 levels of prestige. And I'll just prestige the 4 elixirs that I want for my character
At that
forever.
time.
Well, I'm coming to realize the knife one isn't great. It's not bad, but it's so expensive that it doesn't have any value. Especially since I have like 13 of the Quick Fury or whatever.
Yeah, so it's easier just to consume those than.
Yeah. I don't.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I, there's a few other
Ice
ones.
bug.
I still got the custom skins on all my guns. So, yay there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, can I knife? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
That's right, all Rush does is just take us around the map. It doesn't do that. It does. Oh no. I forgot it does. I might have the wrong gums equipped for this. I mean, I have like the main set, which is the most important, but them points. You can't have them. They're mine. They're all mine. They're all mine.
Doors open.
Oh, I got the wrong special weapon. Oops. Oopsies. These babies. The door's not open. That's not going to be good. You're gonna die.
No, I'm not.
Look at that score, man. Look at that score. Look at you. Look at that score. So, Joe, so here's. Uh-oh. The magical zombies are inbound.
Definitely need to grab that. Hello, zombie.
Hey, monster kill. Them here, they're like 10 boxes on the map.
They're all open.
That's right. Because we're in Rush. So there'll always be a box. Is there a box even over here?
Hello.
That's gonna sting. Mine. Okay, when's that next door gonna open up, yeah?
When we kill all the zombies.
Yes. There it is. Freedom! I might die here. Points. Points for me. Points for me. Points for me. Points for me. No, mine. My box.
I've already dealt with the box.
No. No. Look at me taking that lead underneath your nose.
Dang it!
They're eating you.
I didn't grab an automatic gun and I thought I did. Oh, this is gonna suck.
Double points. Points for me.
I need an automatic. I need an automatic.
Let me keep hogging the box.
There we go. Doors open. Now
I'm gonna get to the next rush room. That's a 3-round burst.
Yeah, hint why I went back to the box. Let me grab that real quick because it's free. Let me grab that real quick because it's free.
Ah, Bowie knife. I need that Bowie knife. I can see ammo. I need the max ammo. I can't see anything. I think he sounds mad. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm down. I'm alive. Oh, nuke. That's nice.
Dang it!
Where's he at? There he is. Oh boy, he's mad. Boy, he's mad. Boy, he's mad. Boy, is he mad. Why is he angry?
Let me pop this.
Why is he mad?
Sure.
All these points are mine!
Awesome.
Why not?
Go to the poop deck.
Whatever it is. Oh no!
Take that. And take that. Extra life! Yay! Take that.
Mhm.
And take that one.
I stuck with the third round burst.
And take that one. And take that one.
Mine.
And take that one. And take that one.
All these. Oh no! Give me them points. No! Don't you leave me! What is this gun? It's an automatic. I'll take it. There's a box. AR. Why not? Another round burst. Overpacking your guns, eh?
Yay! I got a packet bazooka!
Oh boy. Oh boy, here he is.
Oh,
Big ball has
shoot.
arrived. Big ball has arrived.
Okay.
He's eating me! If we work together, we can kill it. Pepperman engaged. Just cut through here, mine. All these points are mine. I control the sun! Julie. So where's Big Boy at? I think I see him running around,
I
right?
already killed him.
Oh, nice. Oh, aren't we just amazing? Oh, goody, there goes. Why not? No! Dang it! No, I'm dead. Hurry, must get upstairs before I die. I'm going the right way. The world's chasing. Oh, look at you! No way up there. Burned out gun.
I need to go down though.
Where do we got to go? Oh, it does not tell us. It just says, stay alive! Oh, downstairs, okay.
Yep.
We gotta go save Jack!
Nope.
Hey, is this a thing you don't have?
are
Already got that one, okay.
dangerous.
I'm going to die. I'm having a brain fart. I don't know how to get downstairs. 40 seconds, huh? I'm going to die. I'm going to die. You're about to die too. I think you're having the same problem I'm having. How do we get to the engine room? Guessing a stairwell, maybe.
Oh, I know where we need to go.
One time I had.
I don't know if I'll be able to get there in time, but I know where we need to go.
I'll just follow you then. I'm gonna say, I think you're on your last life. Come, you're so faster than me. Did you stand up?
Yep.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm.
Engine room's at the front of the shit. No, I don't know. You make it, I'm proud of you.
Come on.
Try to kill some of these, so
Nope,
I
I
don't.
died.
Oh, good. Could have teleported me here.
Oh.
Stamina up, nice.
Oh, that sucks that cost me a life. But hey, I guess I didn't. I guess it's not over.
So just follow your little circle here that you're running, and we'll just stick together. Cause we have to work together. Oh my goodness, grenade down. I got instant kill. Let me just kill these zombies here for you. Oh, dang automatic. There we go. Please die, thank you. I'll protect you too. Oh god, that went bad. Thank you. There's the.
Yay, that rush is completed. You can
Now we
collect
can get out of this.
all the points down there. I'm getting the hell out.
All these points are mine. Yeah, you don't get none of my points. They're all mine.
That's fine.
This is where the greedy guy dies. Like, he stays with the ship and ends up getting caught in that. I think I just traded out. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm going to die down here. Stairs! Stairs!
Yep, you
I'm gonna get my back to a backup point.
die down there. Thank you.
Oh boy. I think I made a bad turn.
I will keep my points and my life and call it a day.
There's the stairs. So yeah, I was like, I can't find the stairs.
Oh,
Thank you.
this is it? Okay. Make our last stand here.
There we go. Oh no. Oh no. Come back, Jack! Oh, Dick. I don't think I'm gonna make it.
I will. It's okay,
I
I'll
should
just
make it.
collect the points.
Yeah, see what we're just like, all these points are all yours! All yours! See if I can get rid of this 3-round burst real quick here. Oh, goody, it's a pistol. That's great. That's great. Oh. Oh gosh, I thought I had more health than that. I get one more reprieve on life here.
Bad.
Got another piece. Go.
Okay, where's the big guy?
Yes, extra life. Yes, I'm going to live. Instant kill going with some work. I think it's gonna go off. I think it's gonna go off. Got my staff though. Fire! Oh, put it away. Oh my.
Hey, I'm
Hey,
staying
Mama.
right along with you.
Yeah, you're hanging around. Except for I got an extra man, so
No clue why I couldn't shoot my aim now. But hey, it's fine. I don't need to shoot or aim.
oh yeah, the door's open. I can go run over here and try to get that. How long until the next rush?
Okay. So I can do
Ah boy.
this. This is gonna
How
be
long until the next rush?
problematic, but we'll
That's just
find out.
bad.
Nope. That's bad.
Ah, running in circles. This way, right? I need to go downstairs.
Okay, I am not in the right location.
I found the right location, but I ended up running in circles. Like, I like circle. Oh no. Gotta come back to there then.
Is it down here? No.
I'm on fire.
I have no clue where this position is.
Starting room. Starting room.
Oh! Okay. I was here all along. I thought it was underneath the starting room.
Okay, I got 2 of those.
Ow.
Oh, that sucks. I did bad. I did so bad. I did so bad. I'm so sorry. Oh boy. Oh boy. Peppermint's ready. I'm going to die now. I'm going to die. I'm alive.
I
Okay.
killed the big guy.
Nice.
Don't mind me.
I ended up
I'm just
having
gonna
a
take your
really bad
points.
moment.
I got an extra life.
Oh no. Yeah, that's okay. Why'd I waste that? Oh boy. I
Double
really need to get a
points.
3rd gun. Yeah. Oh, well, that's nice. Just taking all my kills there and just taking all points for me. Oh man, I don't want to go down here. That's not. Oh, it's a gun though. Eeny, meeny, miny. No. It's an automatic. I'll take it. Bag of punches down here actually. I don't want to go down here yet. I need to get upstairs. Ow! 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 I can heal ya. I need to get downstairs.
Nope. Wrong area. One more.
Having a bad brain farts. No, there we go.
Yep, I know.
Downstairs.
I know. Oh,
I mean
this
upstairs. I mean
sucks.
upstairs. I mean.
Dang it.
I think this is it, right? Yep, this is it. Hello, unlimited sprint. Know how I missed thee. Let's get the hell outside.
Ow.
Unlimited sprints.
Did I not actually activate
Unlimited
it?
sprint. Coming down. Activate what? Oh, that got. Oh my goodness, big guy. Oh, good, we killed him. Nice.
Please tell me I activated it. I would hate to have to do that. Yes, I did. Awesome.
I mean, draining of the.
Yeah. Nope, I'm dead.
That's not good. Don't tell me that. Because the moment all of them start coming after you, they immediately swarm me like, yummy, delicious body.
Where you see that big
Oh, boy,
guy?
and the big guy's there. Yeah, he's pretty scary. Oh my god, I'm dead again. I was just trying to get in front of the horde. Now, you
Yeah.
got your thing for packing 5 times, right? Because of the
No, I
the
didn't
two
pack
guns.
5 times. Did you pack 5 times?
I know at least 4 times.
You can't pack 4 times.
Anytime if you change your guns out, you can.
Oh, I didn't change my guns out. Sorry, I had like an automatic, which I needed, and I had the rocket launcher, which is great with the big guy. Because you can
Yeah, that was actually really,
you can
really
set
good.
it to lock. So it can lock on
Yeah,
the
but-
big
oh,
target,
it-
and you can just boom, 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 dead. But I
Oh, that's
literally
nice.
leveled up to level 5 all of a sudden.
That's nice.
So I got aftertaste
Oh, very much-
again.
For me, it was kind of like fight or flight. Anytime I had whatever gun I had, I was packing it because I'm like, I need something that can kill at a faster rate.
They still have the 40 pork items, so I'm definitely not gonna do that. Can I? Nope. So I unlock guns, but I can't use them. And I don't
Why
think I
was
want
that my-
aftertaste.
Oh, it didn't. When I selected my class, the game decided it was going to be funny and not lock in my class that I wanted. There we go.
Same. Interesting. So I was actually playing off a different class. There we go. If you want, we could do that again.
Yeah, we can go again. Let's go again.
Actually, I
Let's
want
go
to
again.
change one quick thing with my class.
Yeah, you're
I mean,
good.
that helped in like knowing where they're coming from when moving. I didn't really get to use this. Of course, we're not really standing still that often. So actually, no, I'll keep the class because I got the stronghold one.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I don't like it. There's something psychologically wrong in my opinion. Standing still in a zombie game, or zombie mode, or anything.
Well, there was the rush. You definitely don't. Rush, you definitely. I can see some
Unless they-
places you could stand still in on other modes.
Well, unless the damage output is just amplified by that amount, where standing still actually benefits you. Because I can see some scenarios where you're like in like a hallway or
I'll
something,
try
and
it
if you
out.
just put your back
You
to
know
a
what?
wall.
I'll try it out. I'll do a couple of things. Dying
'Cause, I mean,
Rift,
that's the only
does
thing that would
Dying
make
Rift
sense.
works in Rush?
Yeah, it immediately kicks on whenever you have it picked up.
Okay.
That's why it's always my first perk. Of course, the super version of it is when you come out of Rush, you immediately get all your health back.
Yeah.
Of course, just normal, you only get like one hit. So pretty much whenever you come out of it, you need to make sure you're not near anything, unless you're gonna have the super version.
Yep.
But I like having it early because anytime you get
Yep. You ready
put in the
whenever
corner
you
or
are.
something. Oh, my bad. There you go. There we go. Well, I don't think there's any traps on this map, so let me do one quick thing here and change one gum real quick.
Really? You're gonna screw me over
even
because
though-
I don't have that gun?
I guess I'll use this one, why not? Well, I have the one for traps, and I'm like... I don't think there's any traps on this map.
I mean, if you
haven't
want,
seen
I'll
any.
pop one of my like super guns.
I mean, if you want to play that, I could pull mine out. I really...
I could pull out one of my talisman. I got one where it starts me with R. An automatic
I also forgot to
rifle.
pick up a shield last round, too.
Oh yeah, there was a shield. We both got to pick up the shield.
Instinctively, I don't do it. Because
Well,
it's just
it's,
like... You
it's
think
odd
you have
in
to build
Rush
it?
because everything's unlocked.
Exactly.
So it's like the things you're
That's what
like,
I'm-
oh, I have to prepare for this. It's just like, nope, you just grab and go, grab and go.
Go. That's why, like, when I know where, like, I think the light machine gun is, I know where ICR is, and I know where, like, another automatic is. I'm like, I'll go grab those guns immediately.
Nah, I like boxing. Wee. I got fortitude. I'm staying
Oh,
here.
you're doing it now.
Yeah. I said I was gonna try it out. Nope.
Rush a leader.
Oh, dang it.
Oh, wow. Already?
Well, it wasn't
I might
that.
join you.
It was me getting screwed around. Give me another gun. I forget how weak the initial gun is.
And also, don't forget, we only have 3 things of health. We don't have 4 or 4 hits. We only have 3.
Ow.
Ow, 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 ow.
Screw it.
Man, you gotta go on, like, a nasty run here.
Yes, I know. For whatever reason, I know what's wrong. You know what pork I had first last time?
What you have for last time?
Stamina.
Well,
So now I'm moving twice as slow. And I'm like, why is everything going so slow?
this runs out and I'm... Okay, good. Nice. Killer zombies are coming!
I'm not playing up here with them.
Is there a good wall gun over here? That they're on burst. I already have it active, so it doesn't even like matter.
I'll play with it.
Mine!
Killed the catalyst.
Nice. Ah, come on! That's garbage and you know it! Then
Really?
you gotta like melee a zombie and it doesn't register. Oh no!
I literally like put 4 bullets into this person's head with the metal pistol. Well, this is gonna be fun.
You don't have burned out gum on, do you?
I do. I don't have it on right now. Because regularly I don't need it that much. Give me a better gun, oh my gosh. I'll take it.
There's a wall gun over here. Let me go fetch you. Hummer ICR. Spitfire. That was ICR. I swore it was ICR. And my box. Let's get rid of you with you. It's a shotgun. I don't think I killed that zombie. Okay, I saw the hitbox and I was like, Oh, I always had a grenade. That's nice.
I had to.
We need it. Mine. Open up, please. Chuckin' suck. So how's that perk working? Is it actually...
I mean, it's not too bad.
That's not a bad gun. Ow, 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 ow. We're not dying! Free man, I'll take it. Oh, you get the box, huh? Enjoy that.
Yep. There we go.
Ah, they're on bursts. No, 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 no. Okay. Bowie knife! There we go. Now I actually got a perk worth a darn. Just get me out of there. Which is a bad idea.
Uh-oh.
Big guy's here. Where's he at? I'll go hammers on him. I found him. He's dead. No, he's not. He's dead now. I think he's dead. Should be dead. I'll put that down. Points for me. What is that? Trebuchet? I don't want the trebuchet. Damn, that's what it's called. Another box hit, why not? I got a light machine gun off of that box. Sniper rifle growth. I'll pass, thank you very much. I'm probably going to die here.
That is done.
Max ammo. Oh, worked out perfectly.
Nope. I mean, it's definitely gonna.
I'm going to die.
it's
I'm going to
definitely
die.
gonna at least be
Oh boy, I'm
something.
going to die. My mind was like, no! These. Okay, there we go. For some odd reason, I guess I went one way and I didn't see the doorway. My brain's like, no, there's no door. Doors are for... and doors are for the weak. I might make it in time. Enjoy all those points. I'll make it in time. I'll take a little damage here, but I'll at least make it. Yeah.
Zombie rush.
I really need to get this gun packed while I'm over here. Here, let me just put one of these here. Oh boy! Pack I will not. Pack I will not. Let's do it. I'm being eaten alive! Going to die. I killed it. Pack you, hurry. Run the circle. Run the circle. Run the thumb underage, that's good. Works for me. Get out of my way, I'm going to lose my gun. I'm going to lose my gum. I think I lost my gun. I think I lost my gun. No! I'm going to die. I lost my gun. I can't pack. Oh, the game can't do that thing. It won't let me pack the gun I'm holding. If I'm only holding one gun.
No, there's a timeout for the packing. Poop deck. Where
But it
was
won't even
that?
like give me the time though, or
Where
say I
was
can't
the
use it
poop
at the
deck?
moment. Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, I see.
The poop deck.
You're right. I'm wrong. You're right.
Where was that?
Review.
Where's
Poop deck. I think that's starting. I think right.
Was it? I think so.
Hit the box real quick.
No, it's behind me.
Whatever it is, I need it.
Or it's kind of like below me. Yep. I don't want to ride with you. I can't remember where the poop deck was. And I got big guy on me.
Engine room. Front. Oh, it's at the very front. Very, very front of
Yep.
the ship.
Okay.
You said poop deck, so my brain's like, poop deck's not...
Well, I swear it said poop deck.
Enjoy that stamina up.
I don't have stamina up.
Oh, you replaced it with Stronghold. We just
Yeah.
don't have it yet.
I still have it. It's my last one, though.
At least the big guy's not chasing you.
No one's chasing me. Now I got stamina up.
Yeah, I'm alright. I need that too. Come here, stamina. Give me the dang stamina!
This is bad.
Oh god, don't go this way. Yeah, you're enraged. I'll just follow enraged guy. There we go. Oh my goodness! I'm alive! Oh god, we're gonna kill each other. Hopefully you got your special. Um. Instant kill. I'm going to live.
Pop this.
There's no pack-a-punch here in the engine room, is there?
Nope.
We're good. We're together now.
Yeah, the only downside is going the wrong way.
Where's he at?
I got an insta-kill.
There he is.
Well,
Where's he at? There he is.
that was not the best story to tell. Not the best story
Boat deck.
to tell.
I need to get upstairs to get this dang gun packed.
I'd rather take that gun than my porked up gun.
Okay, ICR. I like ICR. Oh, big guy there.
Yep, I predict.
Get this packed. Hurry, 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 hurry. Nice.
I
Where do we have to go
And-
next?
front of the boat.
Front of the boat? Okay. I get this gun packed real quick. If I get this gun packed, that'd be pretty nice.
Let's pop this real
I think he's
quick.
chasing you, which is convenient.
Actually, Ripsy, top of the boat.
Top of the boat? Okay. Oh, in that one spot, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta go now. Can I pack it real quick? I can. Sam I am. Okay, how can I make it there? I guess is gonna be the next question. I should be able to. I got 30 seconds. Very nice. I'm going to make it. I'm gonna make it time. Yeah. I'll help you with him. My hammers are almost ready. It's not good. Oh, there we go. Aha! Yeah, I got him. Extra life. This guy's actually really good. Oh boy. I'll take my whole 3 points again. You can have it.
4 games to the bridge. Can I be ever so lucky? Can I be ever so lucky? Oh my gosh, I forgot how long the staircase is. Yes, I can. We're gonna pop that.
My special is 2/3 of the way there.
I got my daily
Hey, big guy.
dime.
That is not good.
There, go.
That is not good. I am going to die in here. Alright. I'm okay. I'm alright. I'm okay. Come here, triple gun perk.
That's popping.
I got unlimited sprints. Oh my god, unlimited sprints.
I should have picked that up along my way.
Oh god, we gotta stand in here?
We've done this before.
Oh. No, we gotta up here. Oh yeah, you're right, yeah, in that first area. I don't really count that though. So ride your coattails there. That awkward moment whenever you kill a zombie and it's like, or don't kill it, but you do. Yes, I killed it.
we go.
Nice. Forecastle. I don't know where that's at.
That's the starting area.
Gotcha. I don't want those. Gross.
Big guy's here.
He sounds mad.
He is. He's a little angry. Okay, what do I want to do?
Nice. Beautiful. Fortunately, I don't think you started the countdown for the thing there by killing that thing, though.
I haven't killed him yet.
There it goes. Sounds got their injury rounds. I like that. I can work with that.
Oh, great. There's two of these big guys now.
Well, when I get there, I'll pop my special and kill them both. It's because you're able to get 2 of your lives back, which was nice.
Oh, yeah.
Are they still down here?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, I got them. That would take a lot of my health. I think we must have killed him because I don't see him. Oh, we're off.
Okay, let's pop this one now.
This gun kind of sucks. This gun kind of sucks. Okay. It sounds so bad. It just sounds so bad. Oh. I couldn't use them legs.
Gotta move on out.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna cross your path. Oh boy, I'm on your tail. I'm like running into bullets. I dropped a perk, I don't know what it was.
Leveled up this gun.
Ah, they really sting.
And the rush is done.
Burning all.
Will he ever catch up to me?
I got 7 lives, bud. Oh god, we don't need to go in here together. I need whatever extra time I could buy. Could run the same run here. You go that way, I'm going this way.
Down one more level.
I need new guns.
This isn't good. This isn't good. Oh, thank God everything worked out.
That's a bad gun.
This is the level I need to be on.
Wait, there's a gun up here. SCR's up here, right?
Is this raw? Yes, it is.
KN-44,
Super
baby.
sprint.
Oh, no.
I got super sprint.
God. Okay, I got one of my guns back. You know where we have to go exactly?
Dining hall.
Dining hall, okay.
Right where raw is.
Right. Okay. I gotta come down a floor. Gotta come down a floor. And gotta made it. What line are you running so we don't cross paths here? Oh boy. Okay, got one grenade.
Hey, we're in line again.
I never got this gun packed. Or is it packed and it just sucks?
I'm glad
The good
you
thing
got
about
the
being a submachine gun
insta-kill.
is... Exactly.
You didn't plan to use it or anything.
Well, I was gonna say the good part about it having a submachine gun is the reloads are incredibly fast. So anything, anytime something spawn, I can just immediately kill it. Gotta reload. Oh, there's a big guy. Got one of these things now to try to extol the horde. Oh boy. Okay, I just right with you. Zoom, 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 baby! Oh god, I got a 3-round burst gun. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is so bad. Bam, bam, bam.
I killed
Yes, we
him.
did it. I need to get rid of this gun immediately. Box hit, box hit. Where's the box? Box. That's that swordfish. Gross. Blah.
Poop deck.
Give me something good. Give me something good.
We've
Give
got
me
to
something
run
good.
that ship again. Do I really want to change any of my weapons?
Dun 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 dun. Is it a door? No, it's not a door. I'm going to die in here. I am so going to die in here. I mean, the back, the front of the ship. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
They got a pack-a-punch gun. I'm gonna grab the ammo real quick.
This will pop.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Whatever it is, pack it.
Oh great, big guys here.
Where's he at? Let's do it!
Oop.
I'm going to die. I'm actually going to die. I'm in rage.
I'll take the double points. That's for sure.
No, William. You'll just take that double puncher from under my nose, huh? I think I killed the big guy.
Oh, this is bad.
No choice.
Made an alternate
Good
route.
call. Peppermint, yes. Come to me, my zombies. You're all mine.
I trust my
You're
instinct
all
here a
mine.
little bit better.
Oh god, I immediately died. Well, that did not work at all how I drew it up. Run, run, think thin, think thin. Okay, now what?
Killed it.
Ammo. Nice.
I really need another
Big boys here.
gun. Let me go pick up another gun.
How about you can double pack, can't you? Oh boy, well I was going to. No change of mind. Alright, where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? There we go.
Okay, I needed a Cleopath. Almost got one. Update my shield. Where are we going?
Crap, I should have done that on the way by. Actually,
Where
I don't
is
have
that?
one.
Where do I need to go to? I don't know.
It's above me. I gotta go up a floor. Ah, big guy's there. That's nice. Ow. Ow. Is that dining hall in here, I guess? Oh, I'm here.
The lounge.
It's where I'm at, if you know where I'm at. It's like the second floor.
I'm gay now.
Actually, you really need to drink this one. Now I'm going to probably die. I think you got the big guy, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, don't come out here. I'm going to die now. I'm going to die now. I'm going to die now. I'm going to die.
We're just making a perfect circle, are we?
Mine. My points. You don't have these. These are mine.
No, I don't care.
This is not going to end well.
I'm more looking to survive than to gain points right now.
There's two of us. Keep running into one of us dies. Like, yeah, I'm gonna at least be the sole survivor. Enjoy this instant kill while it's active here.
I got that double point.
You're not even using it. Just a go world.
Nope,
Just a go
gotta
world.
go this way.
There's so many zombies. Peppermint, hurry! Activate, hurry!
Take this.
Another one, hurry, hurry!
I'll wait for you to come
Okay, I think I
out
killed all the
this
zombies.
window. You killed them all?
Ah!
I don't think you did.
I killed all the little baby ones. Where is he at? There he is. Oh my goodness!
You just keep
those,
running
thank
that
you.
circle. I'll keep hitting him.
Ow! He smacked me. It's like he takes 100 dang damage when he hits you. Nice. We did it.
I got
Don't
an
worry, you die one more
achievement.
time, I'll be able to catch your score.
I got an achievement.
Nice. We have to go up here now. I'm doing on ammo. I got plenty of ammo on that gun. I got plenty of ammo on the KN-44. I need to find the ICR again. I think it was down at the...
Well, let's see. Maybe I can be lucky.
we have to go and... Oh god, we have to go back up here?
Where do we need to go?
Gross. I think it's like in that second area. Ow, that hurts.
Yeah, it looks like that.
Mine, mine. Where is it? Ow! Ow!
Oh, this is gonna suck. This is gonna suck. I'll grab
Well, I got two
this-
big guys chasing me. That's
I'll
nice.
grab this gun over the other one.
God.
Let's pop this because it's the only thing that's gonna keep me alive during this run.
Okay. Put it away. I killed the big guy. Upstairs. I'm gonna probably do what I did last time. It worked out well for me last time. I don't know with how much the damage upgrade for the zombies is going to make this harder for me or not. You're going to make this harder for me.
Yep. Oh, thank God, everything works out. Everything works out. Oh, I love being able to see where the zombies are coming from before I come. It is so nice. This is not nice. There we go. Dang it! I died.
Oh no, that's not good.
There was just too many short little rooms to run through, and I just didn't have enough room.
Nice. I got it.
You did it.
Let's kill everything else while I'm right here. Nice.
I think we did pretty good on that rush, though.
Yeah, that was
We
good.
both got to 250,000 points.
Mm-hmm. That was a good run.
Mm-hmm.
And to the victors, the spoils.
Yeah, I
I'm going
think-
to die in here.
Yeah, I think you... No.
I'm alive.
Now you're
Yep,
dead.
I died.
Oh, no!
Look at that thing. That's out the way. I'm gonna just have to get the hell out of here. Where do I gotta go now? I really should. No, God, get me out of here. I don't want to start here yet. We try to hang out here for a little bit. There's a pack a punch.
Downstairs.
Ow.
All the way down. All the way down.
I know I don't want to go all the way down yet.
There's no other
I
pack
got
punch nearby.
that. Let me use this real quick. Where's the big guy? I want to try to. Oh, boy, there he is. These around here. Work on you. I got the clicks. What kind of guns over here? Spitfire, maybe, if I'm lucky.
No.
A GSX. I don't. God. Ah, it's got a suppressor on it.
Oh, no.
Uh,
Down, keep going straight.
Yeah, I know it's over here, but I was like, yeah, points. I'll take those. And it's probably where I die, though, but.
Well, no, you should be able to roughly make a good loop.
Ow, I'm dead.
Oh, there's two of them
I'm not-
now.
Oh, really? That's
Yep.
good to know. That's good to know. Oh boy, I'm running so fast. It's too small of a hole to run it naturally.
Well, especially when you
I
have
could do one
that
of these numbers.
freezing stuff. That freezing stuff
The freezing's not bad.
I really don't like. Because it basically will lock you in whatever situation you were in. If you're surrounded, you're going to stay surrounded. You're going to... Yeah, I was about to say, you're walking backwards out.
That's what I was doing. I was trying to just build a wall of fire. What are the guns I got? I got this gun I could use.
You are getting hit way too many
There's
times.
just... I know, I'm like, I can't stop taking hits.
I'm like, you're not giving you enough time to revive yourself.
I couldn't help it. There were just too many zombies.
I still had the highest multiplier.
You did. You had a really good multiplier.
We went down the same amount of time, though. That was nice.
Yeah, that's actually a really good run.
That multiplier saved me, though. I had not equal to the number of kills you had.
Well, we got to the point where every round we were having to deal with a big guy, so it kind of sets everything off.
Oh, yeah, but I don't mind that. Just watch my level go up.
It has to.
So I went from level 5 to level 9.
And I only gained one full level, pretty much.
And I got a tier. Yeah.
I got a weapon charm.
Oh my gosh.
I got my daily done, whatever. Oh, I had the packing too. Let's go and go to the laboratory and do my...
I upgraded the Peacekeeper twice. I don't think I've unlocked it yet, but I've upgraded it. Okay, what do I need to do? First things first, I got a new sticker.
I got 3 free fires. Wow.
Oh yeah, that
was a good
one
roll.
pork is insane.
Any new perks for my gun? I can put the grip on the ICR now. I wish I'd found the ICR more because that's a good gun. I like using that gun.
I don't see the Peacekeeper. I unlocked
See
things
Mastercraft.
for it, so I'm guessing it's in here somewhere.
Put everything I could put on the grid. Oh gosh, come back. Come back, Jack!
Yeah,
Mastercraft.
I don't see the Peacekeeper anywhere.
XP is so much
It
more
looks
better
like
with
an
this gun.
AR.
though. Extended mags, nice. Stocking. Nice. I think for the GSX. What gun was it?
Peacekeeper.
Now, is that by chance a version of a gun, maybe?
It might be, but it literally all it gives me is the Peacekeeper. as its name.
Unless Peacekeeper's a... It's not like a special weapon, is it?
If it's a special weapon, how do I have add-ons to it?
I don't know. I want to look at the other stuff to check as well. I don't know. Peacekeeper. Hey, yo.
I might quickly Google it.
Just Google.
Mm-hmm.
The all-knowing Google.
Ooh. Which one is it gonna double up on now? Ooh, I got 3 fire sale gums.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing new for the swordfish. I think for that. I didn't get no light machine guns that round. I was actually hella disappointed.
Let me quickly Google Peacekeeper.
I had no sniper rifles. No new skins.
What type of gun is it? Assault rifles. Unlock level black market. What is that? Oh, is it one of those guns you have to unlock from the black market? I hope not. Assault rifle.
Oh, what did you get? You got like you got a thing for it, or did you actually level up the gun?
I leveled up the gun.
Huh. It probably yep, it's a black. Yep, you're right. It's a black market gun because they added that and they added like 2 other guns to it.
Oh, that
Because
sucks.
the Peacekeeper was originally a Black Ops 2 gun.
That sucks. I leveled up a gun I can't even use.
Isn't that nice?
But
I
don't
thought
mind.
it was nice.
I don't mind. I was actually really enjoying using that gun though. So when I ever do get the chance of using it, it'll be nice. So what do you want to do now?
It's up to you. We can either do something Gauntlet, we could do something Rush, we could do a typical just straight up match, or...
If you want, we could do classic and get our daily tier skip.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, is there any particular level you want to do the classic on?
Let's try Classified.
Classified classic? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. That's classified rush. Classified classic. There you go. Ready? Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna change my loadout now, or class, I mean.
yeah, I need to, where is it? I need to rename this. This is going to be, whenever it wants to bring up the, really Black Ops? You're gonna
Kind of sucks, you know how you don't get the scepter and the
Thank you.
with the Asher clue. Or Aether.
Aether crew?
The Aether.
Okay, so let's see. What can I last for 5 minutes?
That's right, we lose perks now, so obviously we're gonna want to swap to this one with that one.
We lose for? Oh yeah.
We lose perks now.
I was like, what do you mean we lose perks? Actually, I personally like that button there. And then let's see. I guess we will keep.
Actually, I said we go back. Crap, you can't change the level from the screen, can you?
No.
I had to change hard. I wanted to do the map we were doing again, the last one, Shipwrecked.
On classic.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that once I get everything set up for me. Do you think I should
When's
do
prestige?
heads?
50?
55.
Yeah.
Should I do head scan or should I do temporal gift?
Head scan, probably. I think head scan. I think it has like increased damage towards the headshots, right?
Yeah, it's a chance of insta kill if I get a headshot.
I'd probably go with that one.
Okay. Personally, I didn't see much use in that guy. I guess that one should be next. Chris, what is this one? Reload, restore structure, melee weapon, melee attack or release. Oh, that's interesting. Zombie shell? If you get one and you stand in it with it being your modifier, they'll just ignore you.
Wow. Nice.
Oh, wow. The power up knife one, it will instantly kill basic zombies with the modifier.
Fire. Oh, wow.
Unlimited force sprint. Deal increased damage to special.
That'd be interesting to use in Rush.
Oh, yeah. No.
I don't know if I can give up my sprint for it, though.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, being able to cover the entire course of a map in like 50 seconds to get guns packed or go grab a shield and stuff like that, I mean, I don't know if you could overrun it.
Oh, I see what Stronghold is. I might run it now. I was playing it wrong.
What does it do? Oh, you have to be crouched, right?
No! When it goes down, you build up a defensive circle that will boost your defense and armor over time while you're in it. It's something you sit in and you stay there for like the first half of the match and stuff with like super build up damage and armor.
Okay.
I was running that wrong. I guess if I'm gonna do that, I'll run that second. Actually, no. I'll run that second, then I'll run that. Actually, no. I'll run that, and then I'll run that. Because that kind of progresses with how you do the game. I actually didn't get to play a lot with this, but... recharge... Score... Okay. Let's equip this so I know what it does. Okay. Scores enemy care, locate power-ups, recharge your special weapon. Okay, yeah. Slam spikes down to trigger a massive shockwave. If zombies get too close and touches the spikes, they'll be electrocuted. Okay? Generate more powerful electrical field around your body, firing arcs of white-hot electricity that ensures damage to nearby enemies. Plant both spikes to spawn a powerful electromagnetic field. Enemies within the field are insane, killed, and slammed into the ground. Players inside will automatically be revived with perks fully restored. I think I'll go with that. With this new run, I think I might try that. Okay, I think... Oh wait, you want to change levels.
Yeah, I wanted to go back and do... Since we've already been playing on that map the whole time, I might as well just stick to it.
I mean, it's actually a really nicely designed map. I think there's a few corridors that would have been nice to have, like, in-game arrows.
I changed my class again.
Path this way and stuff.
Don't forget we're changing timelines, so make sure your stuff's set up for it.
Oh yeah, I need to copy it over.
Slide some things over.
Oh, this sucks. Okay. Well, we'll try. Okay. Strong Chord, Electric Burst, Stamina Up, Dying Wish. Okay. Strong Chord, Electric Burst, Stamina Up, Dying Wish. And then what guns did I have? Random Chance, Teleport, Burnout, and then Equipment. We'll do this teleport, and then we'll go back and split those. There we go. Dang it. Actually, we'll flip them back. So I did that one correct, but I messed everything up. Okay. That's not too bad. This is just a simple flip. There we go. There we go. And we are playing this one for the prestige now. So, there we go. And let me rename this to Mortai so I know what this one's for. Have I unlocked the next gun? No. Level 24. Ah, my favorite gun's at level 24.
Well, you could just choose it as your unlock token and have it forever.
No, because I want to play around with some of the other starter weapons. Because it's a nice gun, but it's also one you can literally get at every beginning level.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, I don't want to make it my starter if I can just pick it up whenever I want.
Mm.
Okay, I think I'm ready. Now I'm ready. Okay. You ready?
Mm. Always ready.
I could add bots.
Oh, then you don't get the
Yes, you do.
XP, right?
No, you get the XP.
I don't know if I'd want bots, though.
You don't get what they kill, but you get the XP.
Obviously, yeah. I don't know if I'd want bots, though. I mean,
The only
I'd rather just have a
downside
zombie
with
count where we need it.
the only downside with bots is they open doors and stuff kind of willy-nilly, and they don't open doors at certain times, and you're like, you know,
Why didn't you open
that
the
door
door?
is the one I kind of want. If they're gonna continue the bots into the next one, it'd be really nice if there was a quick way you could command a bot to be like, open this door when you can.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's like a little bit of a longer step, like hold the Y button and press one of the angle buttons while facing whatever you're trying to do. Oh wait, I'm gonna do a stand horde right here.
So you just like put it down where you want, right?
No, it's wherever I'm standing.
No.
Oh wait, I need to get it first. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I'm sitting here like I'm not seeing it on the ground.
I'm
I figured
not
I'd be able to see
in
it as
rush.
well.
It's not expensive though. It's not too expensive.
She calls baloney.
This is actually my favorite character to play. This and the old man. I like them. I like the dialogue both of them have.
I couldn't get her. She's coming up to get you.
I just realized that the little Twitch thing is above my little point thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see how many points I have.
I don't know, ballet. I know I'm gonna end up running the dining room circle. I don't know if there's a particular point elsewhere.
No, I kind of just run around. I'll avoid the dining room, but I kind of just like running around.
It's fine with me.
I mean, this
So I
circle,
like the dining room just
I
because
kind of
there's-
like this circle a lot. Because you can jump over the zombies in the stairwell.
Sorry, I'm just. Oh.
I mean, if you don't want to save your points, that's fine.
Turns out, it's kind of funny how, like, there was a time in my zombie life where I'm sitting here like, yeah, we need to conserve every single point. And then it just gets to the point where the skill level just gets to the point where it's like, it doesn't matter. I typically die with like 100,000 points every zombie round anyways. I have plenty of points.
Yeah,
Sure, like early on it's nice to have them, but I mean, it doesn't... avoid that nuke. Avoid that nuke. It's by the stairwell.
but... Okay.
Oh god, why didn't you die?
Bad.
I hope you're here.
I don't need help. I got myself. I'm gonna pop this. And we're gonna get some
Nuke's almost
headshots.
gone. If we were that close, I would have just grabbed it. I don't know how many zombies we had left. So do you leave one alive and then open up doors, or do
No,
whatever you
I
wanna
have
do?
the stronghold.
I guess we'll go one more round here, I guess.
Right here.
As long as you just don't move, right?
Yep, as long as I stay within the circle. I think as long as you stay in the circle as well, but I don't know. I don't know if
I
it's
can't remember.
primitive.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any booster for me. I mean, if we both were running it, obviously, we'd
I
do
don't
that,
see any
but-
booster, so.
You know what I mean? Like, it gives you, like, that... It's like essentially a stack, in a sense. I'm such a bad shot. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's cool. We're about to share the parks again. Yeah, that's cool.
Ugh.
I want to corner
It's
myself
so
here.
hard to stay in the circle. I got acid bomb.
Head count. Oh, boy. So, hit my burned out gum on here.
I'm most likely pop out
Clicker.
soon.
We need to start working our way to the artifact at some point. Zamba is starting to become a slight issue for me. That's nice.
I need to pop it.
That's so bad. That zombie decided it was going to like
Nope,
do a
I
slope
exited
straight
my
and ended up
circle.
making a little wall.
points.
Blood money.
I have no
I wish it
ammo.
did what Blood Money did and it actually stacked.
So I'm gonna go grab my favorite gun.
Alright, head count if we can.
Got 2.
And then it might be the last two. Alright, let's start opening doors.
Nope, there's
If you
2
get like the
more.
first two, if you get the first, I'll try to leave 2 alive up, of course. But if you can like get the first 2 doors, I can get pretty much all the other ones.
Okay. 1.
Just because, well, that zombie just killed himself. Silly zombie.
2.
Well, I got zombies in my way. I need them to come back down the stairwell, and then I'll come. Oh, it's a runner now. That's great. Don't touch me or you'll die. Don't touch me or you'll die.
I got 1 here.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to keep them both alive, you know, so the timer kind of stays active.
And I got like the best light machine gun or whatever in the game. Or the furthest one.
Oh, you got the big one, the biggest one.
Yep. Which it's
Alright,
nice that all my stuff is equipped on default. Hello, zombie.
I got a decent gun. Alright, I'm gonna start opening doors here, get us
Okay.
rolling.
How much? 2,000. 2,000 for that. Okay.
I have enough money for the KN, I'll grab the KN. I should have went with the third gun perk is what I should have went with. How much is the KN? KN's 1450. I'm not gonna grab the artifact yet, I'm gonna go downstairs and check and see. Oh, we need to grab the artifact if you don't mind.
Okay.
I screwed up. I wanted to go downstairs. I can't go downstairs because I don't have the
Open
artifact.
sesame.
Thank you. ICR, no Spitfire, not Maddox. We can also try to build the shield too over here.
I'll also open up the.
Well, we have two of the doors open, so we technically can't build the shield. This ICR, right? ICR, baby. Oh, I don't got enough points.
Oh, I'm gonna go run.
If you're ready for the next round, okay, you do that. You do that. I said I was gonna go and start the next round, but if you got something to do, do it.
Well, I'm gonna try to get as many of the perk things as I can, especially like the one in Waddle, if I can.
What do you mean perk things?
Like the power punch.
Okay, gotcha. Don't forget, we want the last one activated upstairs, and so it doesn't. So that'll be the first pack a punch.
Yeah, I didn't activate that one. I activated the one in the stairwell. I'm gonna try to see if I can go back and activate the one in the carport without opening up any doors. If I can, yay. If I can't, I can't.
Well, of course we can't get the engine room one until we have 2,000 points. Guess why I'm sitting here? Could be trying to get this part. Don't touch me, zombie. Ah, they're getting closer.
Yep, so can't get the flooded room yet. Where's the other one?
Engine room.
That's the flooded room.
No, that's the one up at the very front.
Oh yeah, there's one right there. Yep, you're right. There's one near Odin as well. Yep. There's two flooded ones. Okay. So I got at least one. So if you want to start, we can. If you
Okay,
want.
sounds good to me.
Where are you?
I'm about to get my ICR.
Which means you are where?
Where's that part down here?
You're below me.
Yeah, I'm below you. I'm about to come upstairs though.
Okay. Well, where do you want
got the
to
part.
stay for your loot?
I'm just coming up there for right now. I mean, it's still early enough where it's not going to be an issue. It was just the ICR is down here, and I wanted to grab it. Yeah, it's my favorite gun.
I'll go
Okay,
back
obviously
to
that's
the
not that.
front
That's
then.
over here.
I'll go back to
Yeah, you should be fine where you're at.
the front.
And I also have the. I don't know. One gum to probably consider unlocking full time, all the time would be the gum that allows you to fast travel to when someone goes down.
Yeah, I was thinking that. But at the same time, it's like, do I really want to dedicate that?
Anytime I play zombies, I have anytime we play outside of Rush, that's always one of my 4 gums. So it'll always be one of my 4.
Yeah, but
Unless you get it early enough on where it's
you
not.
also always play with people, where I've had to not play with people.
Good point. Nice instant kill. I'll take that.
I got no zombies where I am.
I got all the zombies.
Do I have
Oh, the zombie
2,000
just
points?
killed all the zombies.
I think I have 2,000 points, so I'm gonna try to get that one. pork?
Alright, I got 2 zombies, 3 zombies.
Okay. I think there's.
I only have 1
I
zombie.
think there's like some achievement for not lowering the level down, the water level. I think you have.
Yeah, I
to
think it's
sur-
like the survive 1 round in there without lowering the water or something.
Is it survive 1 round? I thought it was like.
It's something like
I
that.
thought it was like get to around 20 or 30 without lowering the water.
I don't know. If I had to speculate, if I were to make an achievement, I would make survive a round in the room without lowering the water.
Maybe that's it.
I don't know.
Well, sadly, we would need you and me, so. I got the pork thing open though, so now we just need the one near Odin, and then we can open up Pack-a-Punch.
You said the okay, gotcha. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I really want to open up the engine room right now or not.
I know.
Thinking about opening up the dining room so I can at least get my circle open.
You know, my next
The dining
thing-
room's already open.
My next thing is getting Zeus, so.
I'm gonna come see if the dining room's open, then I'll go ahead and I'll open up the engine room and we can get Pack-a-Punch open.
No, the dining room wouldn't be open unless you opened it.
Not intentionally, if I did. I can get the Bowie knife.
So you
1,000
see
though.
something leveling up on me right now as I stand in my circle?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I'd have to obviously be in your circle for it to apply to me, I guess.
Because I don't see any.
Oh.
Oh, I can't tell.
Nope. Well, I'm ready when you are. I can start the
I'm
round.
ready. I'm just. I
Oh.
literally need to get 2,000 points to move up to go to the next task in my agenda.
Okay. Works for me. What I end up doing, I end up using. Hey, don't forget if you have your specs, go in and start using them so you can start leveling it up.
Oh, yes.
That's what I end up doing probably this round, maybe. Use my staff. We might have our first big guy this round, I think.
No, that's regularly around 10.
Or was it 10? Nice. Maxi ammo. Sorry, level you up. Like in theory, I can honestly go to like round 10 without before we really need to hold the next zombie if you want. I mean, I don't really. Now that my circle is open, I mean, I could just run it at will now.
Oh, that's nice. I never noticed that about it. That's
Go
cool.
ahead and kill the last one whenever you have a chance. I have double points. I'd like to see that in the next
I don't
round.
see any.
Owie!
Here it comes. I'm gonna go run.
A big one?
Oh no, I killed the last one.
I just wanted to carry the double points into the next 4 rounds so we'd be able to just load up.
Alright, now I'm gonna go get my stamina up.
Is this Dying Wish? Yes, it is.
Yes,
I'll probably end up getting at this round. Yeah, my stamina up's in the engine room.
Whoop. Nope.
Double points, double points, double points, points, points. So, I think I hear stomping. There's a little demon thing in here. I'm gonna eat my face. Alright. I guess if we can head count if you want, but I mean, I'm really...
I need to get a new gun, so that's the only thing I need to do.
Okay. I'll try to keep one alive then. Or 2 alive, or 3 alive, however many we need.
And you're in the dining room,
We gotta
right?
go. Yep.
Okay. I might have to run through there, not this round, but next round. Not the best.
You're fine. I got 2 left, 3 left.
It's not
I
bad.
try to keep 3 alive so they don't become runners.
I'll level
Alright.
up this time. You ready?
Alright, I got 2 left, so anything you need to do, do it.
Well, I can't do
You want a door
Or
opener?
I could check how many points it is. How many points is this?
I'm gonna ahead and I'll grab it just so I can have it.
3,000. It's gonna be a little while. Okay, I'm ready whenever you are. Pop that gun so I can get some grenades out. I'm going back to the front of
Fine.
the ship. Actually, no, I'll go back to the
Okay.
back of the ship. So if I get enough points, I'll open up Odin and unlock power up.
Okay. If not because, you know, you've opened up more of the doors, I can get Odin at the end of the round if we just keep one alive.
Well, I'm just trying to get power punch.
Yeah.
That's my main goal.
Yeah, CR ranked up. Okay, so it does look like the double XP does apply to guns as well. It's not like Black Ops 3 where... not that I could tell. I know in Black Ops 3 specifically they had it where... You know, you had your weapon up bonus and then you had your just level up standard. You're gonna just burn through my ICR so I can just refill my ammo for it.
Why am I even aiming? Yes, so...
I got one by
Yep,
me.
I got a nuke.
Don't get it. I mean, I try to kill all mine real quick, and as you know, if we can kill all of our zombies real quick, then we can grab it and just eat the 800. But
I don't have any.
I'm trying to kill mine real quick. Yep, grab it. Very nice.
I don't think I have enough points to open up Odin now.
It's only 2,000.
Okay.
I think there's only one door. I could be wrong though. I think it's only one door.
Let's see.
But I mean, the round's starting, so just be
2,000.
cautious because if something spawns. Well, I don't know if there's another door that you have to open after that door. Is what I'm saying.
I'll find out real quick.
Just be careful because you're in like a tight corridor and.
I got my machine gun out.
I'd be very scared to even come
I
down and
did
even
it.
rescue you because I remember last time I did it. Nice.
Hello, zombies.
I got Big Guy with me, so.
I just had to call the path out of zombies, but success. Survived. Whoop whoop.
I probably just killed all the zombies by accident.
I am going back up and taking my reward.
I'm on fire. Fire! Please pick a lane, thank you. Hey, ran through the other zombies, that's funny.
I opened up Packet Punch. Reward taken.
Nice.
Okay. Sit back here. Maybe sit right here.
It'll be time for me to hit the box.
Dang it.
Oh boy.
Sadly, it wasn't soon enough for me to die.
Oh, you're upstairs. I could have just ran to you. I mean, it doesn't matter. We're good. Alright, head count, because obviously it didn't end the round, which is nice. I like that it ended the round.
Well, now the issue is I don't have my perks again.
That's why like, the last thing I'm going to get is my perks. I can hold my own until I'm comfortable with like my guns. I'll probably even pack my guns before I even get my perks. I mean, other than Dying Wish, obviously, because it buys you 9 seconds. Or 8 seconds if you get downed.
Definitely get this one, and then I'm gonna go back to the front of the boat to get my next set.
I could probably go one more round on the ammo I have.
Now, I'm fine if you want to kill everything.
Okay. Well, having only 700 points, you don't really got your choice. I'm joking. Alright, okay. You said we're good on everything
So the
else?
reason why I die is I'm trying to level up this sniper rifle since it's still an early round.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I bet you'd love to get that iron sight for it, so you can actually really start like using it. You wouldn't be scared or hesitant if you actually rolled it from the box.
Yeah. I think I got the last one.
Alright, go ahead and kill it whenever you're ready.
Last two.
Technically I got burned out gum. I'm going to put that on so I can at least, if I run out of ammo, I can at least burn out whatever I'm working with. You're breathing.
Yeah, I didn't get all of them. Yay!
As long as that big thing doesn't come, I'll be fine.
Pop this for now.
Pack a Punch, you said, is on top of the poop deck, right?
Yep, it's on the front of the boat.
Okay.
Or at least that's the last one I opened up.
You mean the front of the boat?
Yeah, the front of the boat. The very front, where the one.
Yeah, the engine room is.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just making sure. I get my specials here, so I can actually just use this. Level it up to level 2 here, hopefully. Alright, get all the ones that I can get off of it.
Dang it. That's nice.
Okay.
Oh, big guy's here. Really?
Have fun with him. Please don't get down because my teleport
yes,
gun
I
is only
know.
halfway back.
I was accidentally pressing the wrong buttons for my power up.
And I've already used my scepter, so I couldn't even like run by and just do a quick stab at you to even get you up. I got 3 zombies, so you can pretty much kill everything on your map.
I only got the big guy.
Okay, you're good then.
Oh, there's
I'll just
another
hold all the other
additional
zombies.
zombie with the big guy. But still, only the big guy.
I should have really just burnt through my ICR, so whenever I go and reload it, I'll be
I
fine.
killed the big guy.
Good. I got 3 zombies. Anything you need to do before we start the next round?
Let me check real quick. Can I get this pork? I'm good. Actually, how many points do I have? Is it enough to get a box?
8.
hit?
If you can kill one of my zombies, you can get a box hit.
I'm coming.
Oh, there are runners now. Okay, there are runners now.
I'll snipe one of them off view.
I can see this bad scenario happen. I mean, I should go pack one of these real quick.
There we go.
Okay, good. You got one. Nice. All right, go hit that box and then.
I like the sniper rifle, but it's not going to get us to round 15 easily. This guy definitely will.
Of course. Okay, I'm gonna go pack
I got
ICR
like
real quick.
literally 2 best guns, I personally think.
Alright, if you could help it, please don't kill the last one.
I won't. Actually, where do I need to go? I need to go to the.
Goodbye, random viewer!
I need to go to the front of the boat. Because if I go to the front of the boat.
Let's go and try to build the shield too while we're at it. All the doors are open.
I don't know where the shield parts are off the top of my. Oh, I know where one is. I'll go get the one I know. Unless you've already got it.
Yeah, pack ICR. I got the one in the engine room. We're near the engine room.
Okay, so let me try to get the one here then.
Packed ICR. That's that cotton candy. The snow zombies can hit me or they will die. And I'll just burn through the rest of this other ammo. I might just pack this other gun and just use both these guns this run.
I had to kill one.
What I could be doing.
They pinned me against each other. What am I looking for? Part. Where is
Well, but two of the parts are, one's gonna be in like the dining room area, on the dining room
Found it.
floor, and then the one's gonna be in the room above it. Nice. Okay, you got the upstairs. I'll go get the one that's downstairs. I'm done here. I'll go ahead and I'll shoot this thing over here and activate the second part for the song. Okay, we need to... Should we... As long as you have the zombie, just don't kill him. I'll get the last part real quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to open up this door to get it. Yep, I'm gonna have to open up this door, but it's fine. It should be in here somewhere. It's not the zombie comes down near me, he's going to end up dying or killing himself.
No, I'm just
It wasn't in the laundry
running
room?
around with him.
It should be over here, right? So it's not in the laundry room. That means it's going to be... It'll be in this room, right? So just keep running along the walls there until it says, hold X for part! Teddy bear. Hello, Teddy. Hopefully you're not getting... Did you already get the part from the laundry room?
No.
Okay. I'm making sure it's like... Cause like I walked through the entire...
The only one I know of that I know where all three spawns are, basically, is up near the captain's thing at the bridge.
Unless that's the one that I'm looking for, probably. That'd be really awkward.
Well, I'm at the bridge, so
That's why I'm like, maybe you didn't get that one. Maybe...
well, where are you?
I'm on the downstairs part.
What's the name of the downstairs part?
The staterooms.
Yeah, I think there should be one there.
This was, if I recalled right, that's where one was at. Unless you already...
Either staterooms or Providence. I've only picked up one part, and it's right at the bridge.
I'm going to say, ignore my tomfoolery here. Maybe down there. I don't recall it being down there. Cause I got the one near the engine room. You got that one. Could have swore it was over here. I remember there being a part for the squid gun over here, though.
Nope, moved too fast.
'Cause I don't think it was a shield part. That's for that.
To change agents, to change everything. Well, what do you want to do?
Just give me another few seconds. Let me see if I can try to find it real quick. Like I said, I could have swore it was down here.
Because even though I might not have any viewers, I know this is a very boring thing to watch.
It is. But then my brain was like, this is a good opportunity to give that little program of yours a little test run.
Hint, hint why I kind of insisted on, like, opening up Packet Punch early so that there wouldn't be any come sit and watch me open up Packet Punch while one person runs around a column.
Just give me about another just 60 seconds. If I don't find it, we can try the next round. I could have swirls in here, man.
Because it's almost 8 already.
I found it. Right on cue, baby. Right on cue. Let's get out of here.
And I'm definitely ending at 820, no matter what level we're at. Because I have stuff I need to get done.
Oh, so you're gonna purposely just leave? Just
I told you that before we started.
I know. I know.
I don't even think I have enough parts for this year. No, I get it for free. Okay.
I mean, this. Yeah, the first one's always free. The first hit's always free, man. And I'm having this really bad mental breakdown where I'm like, I don't know, I'm trapped like a rat. I can't get outside.
Well, I'm gonna kill the zombie if it comes near me.
Yeah, go ahead and kill it. You're good. Go ahead and kill it. Like, I'm technically good. Like, I'm actually great. I just would grab that shield real quick.
I'm gonna go up here.
It's only around 12.
Right
Okay, let me get 2 over here to get the shield, and then I'll just run back. Good thing Pack-a-Punch is still here.
here. I think I'm gonna level up this gun. I don't play around with it that often.
Okay, I need to get out of here. Oh boy, this is not good. Hey, nice, beautiful. That worked out better than I probably could have ever worked out. I ended up tossing both my grenades down and got a max ammo. Fortunately, my burned out gun ran its course though.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop that.
No.
There's
Moment of
a
truth. Do I need to go
but-
downstairs or upstairs? I still got my raw ability, so I should be fine there. Thank God I went the right way. I was like, God, don't tell me I'm already in the basement area. That'd kind of suck. Crap, I need to use this gun up so I can get a pack next round. Oh, I got a max ammo, so I don't even need to worry about that.
Uh-oh,
That kind of
big guys
sucks.
here. Big guys here. It's not gonna be ending well for me. Ah, that's not too bad. I'll take it.
I got nothing with me, so kill everything you got.
Oh, I got tons. Don't mind that. I got a big guy, one of those electrical things. Got
Oh, enjoy all
of
that.
them.
I got nothing. I got nothing with me, man. I would like to come help you, but my mentality is if I leave, I'll find it just like making it worse.
I'm glad I got stuck on that. Why you hit me so hard? Nope, nope.
I guess that's the one thing the one thing I miss most about Black Ops 3's gums compared to the elixirs. Even though the anywhere but here is still one of them. At least whenever you had the gumballs, at least you had multiple charges for it.
Okay. I can't pack that gun yet. Oh, that sucks.
You know what I'm saying though, right?
Hmm?
No, never mind. I just keep my thoughts to myself.
Well,
Some of
I
us
was
so
kind
deep
of
within
battling
thoughts.
stuff.
Are you still battling stuff?
Not anymore. Hint why I'm like, hey, you wanna tell me those secrets of the Word of God and stuff that whispered to you? I'm all ears
No,
now.
but oh, you're lending me your ear. Oh, you're so nice. No, but what I was saying is the one thing I miss about Black Ops 3 Zombies compared to this one is even though you now have the ability to have whatever 4 you load out with to use it anytime that you want. Oh god, I got the thing. At least you had the ability to have multiple charges on the gums, though.
Multiple charges.
Like you can teleport 3 times. You could use the invisible gum multiple times.
You can use a lot of these gums multiple times.
You technically can, but I'm about in a short amount of time, you could just use all your charges if you needed them, you know?
Oh, no, you can't do that.
Like you'd have 3 that you could use at any time that you wanted to use them, pretty much. Even though, yeah, I mean, technically you'll get more uses out of it long term.
Are you close to killing all yours?
Yeah. I'm fighting a big spider thing right now, but I mean, yeah, I'm working on them. I think mine just might die right there. Nice.
Oh, Pack Punch disappeared.
That's not good.
Mm-hmm. Pack Punch is at the bottom of the grand stairwell now.
Okay.
I like how it tells you where it is. It's not like, oh, go find me.
Did. Oh, what they could have done is they could have turned it with they could have done what they did with the box and just have it have a blue aura around it or something, just like the box. Ah, spider thing.
Clear that before it
Alright.
spawns. Clear you guys. Big
Thank God
guy.
that one Thank God that one
Nope.
decided it was going to turn into a
Moving
special zombie.
on Out.
I got one of these. I should throw that down. Kill what I can. Whoa!
I'm
Oh,
actually gonna
I'm enraged.
punch this.
I need damage and I might die here. Dang, why won't you die? Why won't you die?
Well, level that up a little bit.
Thank God I didn't get stuck. I'd have been mad.
Okay. Ooh.
They could really use another.
Just one.
Oh my goodness!
Die.
I should have used my equipment gum, is what I should do. But I'm about to get my next charge, so I'm not gonna waste it. Oh, good, I got a big guy and I'm fighting a spider. That's just terrific. Grenade's almost ready though, which is very nice. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Thought you might like it.
That's awesome.
I got enough
Bet
points
this
to
thing
get
will not
Odin,
die.
so I'm gonna go get Odin.
Ah! I stirred that fireball in the face.
Mm-hmm.
I think I killed the spider thing. If not, I'm gonna die when I go around this corner. I got the big guy I'm working on now. I'm gonna use my equipment here.
Through the meat locker. Down the stairs. Over.
Run through it. Run through it. Yeah, I killed him. Nice.
Grab
Huh.
that.
I dropped the thing. I dropped the key. I got a key.
Yeah.
I got this key.
Alright, if we can, try to head count this one, because I would like to get all my perks at the end of this round.
I'm one away as well, so I would prefer that as well.
I did get to 15. We have to survive
No,
15. Though,
Yeah,
right?
we have to survive 15.
I think I got a big guy near me. Yep, I got a big guy near me. My scepter's ready though, so I'm gonna use my scepter here. Where's the big guy? And I can hit him with the scepter.
I saw you coming up. Run by you guys.
Gonna put it away. Got a charge on a grenade.
Run up here, jump.
My shield's about to burst. I'm going to grab another. Oh, very nice. That's gonna be very bad for me though, because I'm gonna end up killing the last one again. Oh god, excuse me, pardon me. So if you end up killing the last one, I'm not gonna get, upset or anything.
I have one.
So I'm gonna...
I still have them spawning.
Okay. Yeah, I'm working on Big Boy.
Insta kill wore off.
I got it. He's killed. That's good. All right, I know one with me.
I have one with me.
I got two. All right, just don't kill him. I guess I'm gonna roll out. I don't see any more spawning.
Okay, I'm gonna head in your direction now. And then you go
I'm gonna go grab Odin real quick. I'm gonna go grab my Odin perk real quick, so I can get at least get my stamina. That's kind of the important one.
Restock my shield.
And then if I happen to have 5,000 points, I'll pack my gun whenever I can, just to use it.
Come on,
Oh,
zombie.
that one just froze himself.
Don't get in my way.
Oh, no, the freeze didn't work. And that's something that kind of annoys me about the freezing perk or whatever, is that it's random. It doesn't, it doesn't engage, immediately like the Widow's Wine did.
Mm-hmm.
You have a chance that it'll work, which I'm like, I don't know, man. I need to see what the third rank for it is, because if it's got a good third rank, I might swap it.
There we go.
Here's my stamina up.
Okay.
Now, get my
I'm
quick revive, and
super
I will be
half
good.
now.
Where did you happen to say the,
Bottom of the stairwell.
which stairwell?
The bottom of the grand stairwell.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. I know where it's at.
The main stairwell.
Okay, you say stairwell as I'm running up a stairwell. I'm like, not this stairwell, right? Restock my shield.
I like the other way.
Gotta have like
I'd
6,000 to
much
spend,
rather
so I can actually
run
pack
up
this gun.
That instead of running that way. So there we go.
Because you run that. What circle are you running? You're running the front of the ship or the back of the ship?
Well, right now I'm running Neo Zeus, one level above you.
Okay.
But
Not a
I'll
brain fart. I
most
guess I'll go
likely
pack my
go
gun
to
real quick
the
while I'm here.
back of the ship actually, because I just don't like that corner. I don't like the corners.
I want to say the light machine gun is.
Well, right
Or
now,
Hades, I think is the name
I
of
have
it.
Tiger Shock and the double-barreled machine gun.
But the reason why I was gonna ask, I didn't want to open up any doors that you use for protection, you know?
No, I don't care.
Okay, it's already open technically. I guess technically whenever you get Pack-a-Punch open, it automatically opens up that beginning door.
I don't know what you're referring to, so.
Because the meteorite blows open the that hatch.
Oh no.
There's one way out is
you
use
still
your
have to
points.
open up the one door too.
I gotcha. But there's a gun in here. Yeah, just right there. The Vapor. I thought it was the Hades for some odd reason. Okay, well I got all my perks now. Unlimited sprint. What I need to do. My raw's almost recharged too, which is nice.
right here. Awesome. Beautiful. So if I get overwhelmed, I pop that, and if I still am overwhelmed, I pop that, and I go straight to the front of the ship.
What I need to do is...
Are you ready?
No, give me about 45, about an actual minute. I'm gonna go check the front. I'm gonna go check the engine room real quick to see if my gun's there. And then if not, I'll just pack what I have. Because I want the light machine gun packed, obviously because of the bullet count. And I can't remember where that gun's at, which annoys me. So I think it's on this map. My gut tells me it's on this map. Do I jump in the water? I think I jump in the water. Maybe it's underwater. There's a box underwater. Of course you said... Well, yeah, well, I guess that's true. There's like no... drowning.
Mm-hmm.
Thought I was underwater over here. Could have swore I was underwater over here, but I guess not. Alright, I guess I'll just pack what I got. Oh, I think I see it.
You got 5
That's
minutes.
sniper rifle. What is that? Sniper rifle. I could have swore it was in here. I'm almost done.
I mean, I don't care if you're almost done or not. I told you 8:20. I'm gonna be a
I know.
dead weight. I'm gonna be the worst version of monkeys.
Alright, I'm coming back to the back of my ship, and I'm gonna pack what I got, and then I'll kill the last one, or you can kill him. I
You
mean,
need
not
to
like
go
that
to the
now. Let
Grand
me go get my gun
Central
pack.
Station, or the Stand Central
No, I'm on my way
Staircase.
there.
Okay. You
Grand
said back
Central
of your
Station.
ship.
Like, oh, well, in context, it's confusing because when I'm in my mind was like back to where I'm running my circle. But like the words didn't come out right.
I ran.
About
Real
30 seconds, I'll be
zombie.
there.
I should not have been able to do that.
I think I took the long way.
It's okay. Again, like I said, 8:20. I'm literally just gonna
I'm
put
at
on
the
my
staircase.
controller
And just walk away.
because I have things I need to get done at 8:20.
Alright, I'm packing it now. You can go in and kill him. I should go in and just double pack while I'm sitting here, actually. Ah, he's leaving! Hurry. There we go, okay, I'm good. I am in great shape. Got a full shield, 2 guns.
Oh, I hear a big guy coming. Can't deal with you in my little circle. Dang it,
I hear
I'm
my
right
control
out of
everything.
my circle. That sucks.
My perk dropped. I need double points.
Hmm. Nope, he doesn't get frozen by that move. Okay.
I feel vibration.
Where are you? You're in the dining hall?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna not walk in your way. But I killed all mine, so I was like, let me...
Well, the big one might trigger the next round because I'm not seeing anything else.
That's fine. I killed my big guy. I trust that you can do the same.
Well, you must. I think you have the other one chasing. Yep. Nope. There it is. You had one zombie on you.
Oh, there's a big guy.
I felt the vibration, but I didn't see one. So I'm like, is why chasing you?
Okay, fork that gun up. I think he just creamed Packet Bunch.
I spit on it. Oh, you got the spider thing, don't you?
Yeah.
Ew.
I don't know. I don't mind it.
I see yours, rank 5. Quake Jar Gross. That's a bad perk.
Yep, he creamed Packet Punch. Ooh! Ooh, I don't know what just hit me, but something hit me hard. I've never lost so much health in a single hit. I think I got hit all 3 of his, like, balls he shoots out at you. Ow. Stinkies. Oh, I killed him.
Oh, up. I thought it was the end of the round, pretty much, so I kind of went back through the horde. I was like, oh god, I'm going to die. Alright, I got 2 left on me. I don't know if this is where you're going to call
I
it
think
quits
all
or
mine
not.
are dead.
Because I need to change guns. I have no ammo.
Let's see what I get from you.
Is there not a gun in here with me?
Bad. I was like, please
There is a
somebody
gun, I
have
could
enough to double pack
Swap
both
that for
guns.
this. Where did you say Pack-a-Punch was?
Right now it's at the front of the ship again.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go pack my guns real quick.
Go to the front, the back of the ship again. Because personally I like a smaller circle than the big in the front. Just more control.
I think I'm going to the front of the ship. Yeah, I'm going to the front.
Yeah, because
'Cause I need to...
You got 3 zombies.
Yeah, I had 3.
Alright.
'Cause I need to... Because
I actually need to go.
Because
to the
my
front
goal
of
is
the
to...
ship.
Because when you decide to get off, I need to make sure that I have a gun that I can refill ammo on consistently, just while I keep running that little circle.
Oh yeah.
And I never have to leave. And I'll just die of fatigue.
I'll most likely do
Into
one
the water
more
I go.
round, depending on when we start.
He said it was in the front of the ship. Oh, you mean upstairs? I thought that was the engine room. For some reason, my brain
No.
said engine room.
Theoretically,
guy
you
here.
you could learn the shapes and it would tell you, but
Ah, God, no, please.
where are you?
I'm in the engine room. Because I knew there was one in the engine room. Okay, take me to the front of the ship. Oh God. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so that's how
I'll
those
go to
work.
the back
Okay,
of the
that's
ship.
interesting. I'm going. I went to the wrong spot.
I think we could.
For
tell.
some odd reason, my brain
Why
said
are you back
engine
there?
room.
Turn around.
Because I had a
turn
teleporter, I was
around,
going to
run
die.
back. Turn around, run back.
Hey,
Come
there's a
on,
zombie in
run
my way.
back. Follow me.
And this is the back of the ship.
Come, run back here. You're wasting time.
Okay, I'm with you.
Come, run back here. Go into that
Yeah,
portal.
just but I don't wanna. I'll just run back because I knew where it was now. I could just run to the other end of the ship.
And now where are you? Right next to it.
I know. You said
It's
run to the ship,
faster.
and typically when, but it costs 500 points. I need my points. That's true. Like no.
And I need viewers.
In theory, you can go and kill him if you want, then I'll just run.
You sure?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna kill him. When he dies, I'll run back to my spot. I got Kilowatt. Oh, box is moving. I mean, Pack a Punch is moving.
I'll use up this weapon.
Alright.
I got 2 brain rots, so theoretically I should be able to make it through this round easily.
I've got the round starting. I'm running to the staircase. It just really sucks. My favorite gun, ICR, is not in this part of the ship. I'd have to run all the way. I guess my next gun might be. That's an iffy run, though.
Thank you. Apparently you can't, you can't reload while being hit. Why would that be a thing?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I see your brain rot zombie. It throws me off because I can see your outline. And there's like 2 outlines. Like, did someone just join our game?
Because I was trying to hoard a point, and they started swarming me. I'm like, oh, I'll just do what I normally do here, and dang it! Oh, I'm
Oh.
down.
You want me to just let you bleed out?
Yep. I'll try to take as many
Okay.
out as I can.
So they said I could fast travel to you, but like I said,
Yeah,
I don't know
you
if you're
could,
about to
and
get
then
off
I
or
would
not.
have to figure out a way of dying a little bit less honorably. I fought to the final end. We did 2 hours of streaming.
Yeah, we did.
So
We did a lot of rush, though.
we did about an hour of rush.
It's a max ammo.
Well, for everyone watching my stream, hope you all have a good night and see you Friday. Bye.
Bye bye, anyone. I'm not giving up.